So this is Margie.
Hi.
So
This is about right, too. Boy, we start off with a bang.
there's a story behind that.
Yes,
Yes. Hi, Mark. This is my friend Margaret.
Yes,
Margaret.
This is what's
Thanks to Chris, taught me how to talk like this. Thanks, Chris. What's your interpretation of the first time you and I met?
My parents were going to your parents' house, and
They met at church.
yeah, our parents met at church, and they said that they were going to run in real quick and talk. Yeah, which never happens. It's gonna
Not
take
with
a
our
long
dads.
time. Yeah, I knew that was going to take a long time, so I told them, yeah, I'll sit in the car and wait. I looked up out of the car and saw you looking out the window with your glasses. With
Very
your
large glasses.
Very large. And but at the time I was like, oh, she's so cute. And you were smiling out the window, and I thought,
It's like, come on in and visit.
come sit with me and talk. Want to have a friendship?
Want to be friends?
Let's be friends.
Okay, so here's the question. How old were we?
Well, it was 4th grade because I left.
You were in 4th grade?
I was in 4th grade, and here's the reason why I know. Because in 4th grade I went to Argentina.
Okay.
And when we left for Argentina, we were at one church, and when we came back, our parents said, we're changing churches and we're going to go to Lakeview Chapel. So at that point I was in 4th grade, and I think I was 9. My birthday being in February. We went to Argentina in January.
Okay.
We went for the whole month of
So
January.
you were probably 9. Okay.
So I think I was 9, yeah.
Okay. So then I'm a year younger, so you think I was in 3rd grade, you were in 4th.
Right.
So 8 and 9. Okay, okay. We actually may agree on this.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we figured that out at work one day.
Oh, well, obviously I didn't remember.
Yeah.
It's all for the camera.
And scene. But I think it was like into my 5th grade year, maybe near the end of my 5th grade, maybe your 4th grade year, that you moved across the street, because you didn't live across the street from me when I wasn't at Valley Christian Academy.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So
that
it had
makes
to be.
sense.
It had
A
to be
little bit
then.
later.
Yeah.
Okay.
From 5th grade to 7th grade, we went to Valley Christian Academy, and then they backed their grades up. So it forced me to go to Aurora, and at that point you were in 7th grade and you went to Aurora too. So we both had moved from Streetsboro to Aurora, and once again,
We lived down the street from one another.
And
Like just a few blocks.
Our parents did that intentionally
Oh, yeah.
to keep our friendship together.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I was going to move away to Ecuador.
Oh, yes.
And then the Lord just pulled that from us. And so we stayed in Aurora, and then you moved to Kent. But it was okay at that time because I was driving anyways. Mm-hmm. So it didn't matter that we lived that far apart. And our parents both agreed that it was okay because we could just drive back and forth to each other's homes, which is exactly what I did in my red Skyhawk.
Yes.
Or the door flung open when you turned left.
Do you remember that? Yes.
Tried to keep up with the trend as best we could, but
back then I don't remember doing that.
But it was too, I mean, like hair wise, but it was so hard because we were in that awkward stage, and so we didn't really have a sense of fashion.
And you and I would swap clothes all the time.
And I lost the glasses and got contacts, so when I went into my sophomore year, everybody thought I was a new girl.
Yes, I remember that.
They didn't even recognize me. Where did you move from? And I had been at the school for 2 years already.
Yeah, I remember that.
So yeah.
When I got into high school, boys started noticing me and feeling like, oh, this is what it's about, like getting my self-worth from these guys.
For me, I wasn't allowed to date really at all. I really wasn't allowed to have boyfriends. So by the time I was a freshman and I told my parents I was interested in this boy. He didn't even live around here. He lived like an hour away. Well, they were thrilled because it was friends of theirs whose son I liked, and so they were all for it, and it was fine. That was the first relationship I had, and to me it was more about having a boyfriend, just the fact that I had the title, you know, like I have a boyfriend.
Yeah.
So between my freshman and my junior year, I had found out that, okay, I can have a boyfriend now. So I dated this guy, and we dated for a long time, and then, you know, we broke up, and then it was, I would meet a guy that you would introduce me to, and then I'd break up with them, or I'd have a crush on a guy, or I would just make out with a guy. I mean, just like crazy stuff like that I was
like,
so
why?
stupid. Yeah.
So, in my freshman year, I started dating pretty quickly because a guy started noticing me, and being the new girl in this brand new high school, I thought it was pretty awesome that someone noticed me and wanted to go out with me. So I didn't even care who he was, honestly. I just like jumped at the chance, was like, okay. And I think the first date was he invited me to prom.
Okay. Yeah.
So we, you know, were planning on going to prom, and at that point I was a freshman, so getting invited to, you know, junior, senior prom was pretty awesome, especially being a new girl. So I was super excited. Margie was a sophomore, and I was like, oh my gosh, I should introduce you to so-and-so's friend, because he doesn't have a date for prom, and that would be so much fun if we went together. So
because everything we did together.
it was like, why not? I'll just set you up. And so she did. You went to prom with my boyfriend's friend.
So we would double date, the four of us, and we were together all the time, and it turned out that we liked each other to the point where we started dating. Just our intentions with each other were always, whatever we do, let's do it together.
Yes.
And if I was going somewhere, I wanted you to come with me, and when you were doing something, you wanted me to come with you. So.
Yes. I'll never forget, my mom and we did a lot of thrift shop hopping and just trying to find ways to be stylish inexpensively. And so we ended up finding this blueberry blue prom dress for me, and I fell in love with it, and so we bought it. And we couldn't find shoes to go with it, so my mom was like, oh my goodness, Payless Shoe Source. Remember that store?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Payless, you can buy these white shoes and dye them any color that you want to match your dress. So that's exactly what we did. We took a little swatch of the dress color, they dyed it to the perfect color to match my dress, and I was killing it in that blueberry dress and my blue heels and my I think I even had white hose.
You did.
Well, back to the freshman year, I wasn't very stylish. I came into myself as I got older. But after, of course, you wore this adorable white dress.
I wore the dress, because
I
went to prom. I went to prom my freshman year also, because if you remember, I said I had started dating a guy. So I went to prom with him my freshman year. And when I was going my sophomore year with a different guy, I thought, well, why not wear the same dress? So I just wore the same dress my freshman year and my sophomore year.
So we took pictures. My dad, I think, was the one that took our pictures, and it started to rain a little bit, and then the grass got wet, and then it started raining a little bit more. And I remember walking to the car and looking down at my shoes. My shoes had like stained, bled. Thank you. My shoes had bled
her
because
blue
of the rain.
Shoes with her
all
white hose
over my white hose, everywhere.
She
my
looked
shoes.
like a Smurf.
I looked terrible. Before I even got to the prom, I was a mess. But we had so much fun. We got in the middle and we were like dancing like crazy. That was like such a fun night to like.
That was really, really fun.
Kick off high school.
And then we went back to someone's house. I think we went back to one of our boyfriend's houses. Yeah. And we changed and went to after prom.
Oh,
and then we had after prom till like 5 in the morning, and we danced even more. I think we at one point even were kind of like, okay, you're our dates, whatever. We would just want to go dancing. Do you remember that?
So much fun.
We're
We're kind of known for our dancing. We actually, this is something.
Yeah.
We actually were in a talent show, a pretty big talent show at the time.
For Debbie Gibson's background dancer.
Yeah,
Check
Debbie
her
Gibson.
out.
If you don't know who she is,
Sing.
she was popular in the '80s.
So, so by the time I was a junior, and I knew more about my my relationship with God, where I was in my life, what I wanted out of life, then I found my self-worth. And at that point I said to myself, I want to get married. I don't want to have this jump from relationship to relationship. I want a Christian man who's a virgin, really young, and saying to myself, I will never lose that. But I remember thinking, I will never have that taken away from me until I'm married.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was boy crazy, but not in that way to find out who I was.
Yeah.
I was more boy crazy because I never was able to have that opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And now, there's boys and I like them and whatever, and I just wanted the experience.
Mm-hmm.
And then once I got there, it was more like, okay, I experienced that, but what does God want?
Mm-hmm.
And I sought that early.
So that was your junior year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
experience that until late my senior year.
Right.
And right after late in my senior year, I would say, is when God really convicted me of my relationships. Yeah.
Right.
So
And I think that impacted us, because we went from the same journey to different journeys a little bit, and you were finding yourself and I was finding myself, and not that our friendship didn't break up or anything like that. I'm just saying that it made it because we were both trying to figure out who we were, because for so long it was almost like we were meshed together.
Yeah.
Because at that point we had known each other for 10 years and we were best friends for 10 years. Then that changed the dynamic.
Yeah.
In our friendship. I think like where my journey started going one way and yours started going another.